Aaron. Welcome to ATMC TV's coverage of North Carolina high school football. Jay, it's a second round playoff edition. The West Brunswick Trojans 6-1 winners over Chapel Hill a week ago, squared to or ready to square off against the mighty Clayton Comets, who come in Jay, with a number 7 seed beside their name, a 7-1 record, but don't let that seed fool you.
No, we won't at all, Sam. Listen, this is a really, really good high school football team, ranked number 38 in the entire state of North Carolina, and the number 12 3A team in North Carolina. Just to put that in perspective, West Brunswick, I think, is ranked around 104 and 29. So this is going to be a big serve for the Trojans here this evening. But golly day, if anybody can do it, it might be these guys from Charlotte who have just been lights out the last 3 weeks.
And Jay, Clayton went on the road a week ago and knocked off Southeast Guilford, the East Region's number 2 seed. West Brunswick was 42-35 winners over the visiting Chapel Hill High School Tigers. And what a crowd we have early tonight, Jay, as the COVID restrictions have slowly been lifted. The people around Charlotte and Ocean Isle and Sunset Beach and Calabash, they're ready to come to M.H. Rourke Stadium to cheer on the Trojans.
Well, they've been waiting a long time for something like this. And Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're a West Brunswick fan, you've been waiting since 2003 to get this far in the state playoffs. And who was the quarterback for West in 2003?
In the playoffs, the quarterback was one Brett Hickman.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, it has been 18 years since the Trojans hosted a second-round playoff game. Jay, for our viewers who don't know or don't quite understand how playoff football might work, the winner of tonight's game is one of 4 3AA teams left in the state with a chance to win a state championship. A win tonight by either of these teams guarantees it a spot in the 3AA East Regional Finals next Friday.
And that'll be a tall order for either one of these two teams, as in the other side of the bracket will be Lee County versus Cleveland.
Boy,
both of them are great teams. In fact, the only loss that Clayton has received this year was a one-touchdown loss to Cleveland, who are undefeated and I think top-ranked in the state, at least in terms of 3A.
Yeah, you know, Jay, it's funny. The seed numbers were random as far as the conference champions go, but Cleveland probably was the best 3AA team, and they drew the 1 seed. So justice was served as far as Cleveland seeding goes, but Clayton, not so much. You talk about a tough 7 seed. Boy, Clayton, this team is big. This team is fast. This team is physical. And I talked to Coach Hickman earlier in the week, and he said you cut on the film and you hope that it's they look like Tarzan and play like Jane, but that's not the case with the Clayton Comets. They are enormous.
No, they're legit, Sam. Their line averages probably 275 plus. And the thing about these guys, they can score quick because they got a tremendous running back, Deshaun Hinton, a senior, 1,023 yards on the ground, 8.5 a carry, and 18 TDs, or they can just grind it out behind that big offensive line. Kate Sadowski is their quarterback. They do not throw the ball a lot. When they have, he's put up 313 yards, 3 scores, 87 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns. Principal receiver Jaden Farrington, a senior, 9 catches, 112 yards. Listen, we talk about their offense. They're really good on defense, too, and they got a couple of studs. Watch number 8, Donovan Spellman, junior defensive end, 6'4", 215, 54 tackles, 11.5 sacks. This guy is a monster. And guess what? They got a number 44 who's a pretty good linebacker, too.
And what a name he has.
Mason Rambo, 63 tackles on the year. But guess what? We'll take our number 44 right here at West Brunswick. And, of course, we're talking about Carter Wyatt, junior, 101 tackles, 41 solo, 14.4 tackles per game for Carter Wyatt.
And an interception in the regular season finale against South Brunswick. Jay, West Brunswick won its first 2 games of the season before suffering a rather lopsided defeat at the hands of Hoggard. Since then, the Trojans have rattled off 4 straight victories. Clayton also comes into the game riding a bit of a winning streak, as its loss to Cleveland was roughly about a month ago. West Brunswick will kick off to begin the game. Clayton in blue pants, white jerseys, white tops. West Brunswick wearing the all greens. Oh, a spiral kick, fielded cleanly. And he's got a seam, partner, across midfield, dragged out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. That was number 1, Isaiah Manyaga, the senior wide receiver. And boy, not a great start for the West Brunswick Trojans. Murphy missed that one, and it went low and right at Manyaga, and Clayton with excellent starting field position.
Yeah.
Not the start you wanted for the Trojans.
I'll tell you what, the good thing Locke didn't miss was the tackle, because had he missed the tackle, Menaga would probably still be running, and the Comets would be soaring right out of the gate.
Clayton in the spread formation. Look at all those offensive linemen, partner.
Big guys.
Quarterback keeps it, and no one is there for the Trojans. Oh, we got a hold down the field, Jay. They're going to get the wide receiver over on the edge, number 13, Everett Boyd, with a hold. The bad news for the Trojans, it was about 12 yards down the field, so Cleveland's still going to be in like a 1st and 8 situation, I believe, if my math is correct.
And we talked about Cade Sadowski as the senior quarterback, but number 10, Noah Anderson, gets the start tonight. He's also a senior for the Comets. Again, does not throw the ball very much, 144 yards on the year and 1 touchdown, and he's rushed for 2 touchdowns this year.
Jay, let me tell you what else Clayton is. Well coached. Head coach Shane Handy, talk about a winning pedigree. He spent some time in the western part of the state at Randleman, a 2A power. True Robinson trying to trace the ball carrier down. That was number 24, Deshaun Hinton, who is bound for Fayetteville State to play his college football. And, Jay, that's the thing Clayton can do. It felt like West Brunswick had that one snuffed out from the start, and Hinton still picked up 2 or 3 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 6 from the 42, 2nd and 7.
True and Carter are going to have to watch hats tonight. There's
True Robinson in the backfield, and they – well, don't take down, but they stopped Noah Anderson for a short gain. Anderson brought down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to set up a 3rd and 9. That was a loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 9 from the 44-yard line.
Robinson's had a splendid senior season, 30 tackles, 16 solo, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, a blocked field goal.
Hands down. The Trojans were there.
There you go.
Trip Hardy and a host of other green shirts dropping for a 1-yard loss. What a start by the Trojan defense.
And Sam,
Michael Simpson, Carter Wyatt. Who else was there, partner?
Well, everybody else with a green shirt, it looked like. And this is exactly what West needed to do against this big, strong Clayton team. They just got right in their face in that line and dominated this first series. Let's see if the Trojans can get something going offensively, where the past 3 weeks, as I said earlier, they have flat out been on fire.
So a 4th and 10, ball marked at the 45-yard line of West Brunswick. Clayton kicking into a stiff wind. There's going to be a flag on the play. It is a false start penalty against the Comets. So now the ball will be snapped from midfield, and it'll be 4th and 15.
Sam, this wind is swirling right now, and I'm trying to figure out if it's advantage West or advantage Clayton.
Clayton's kicking into it somewhat. A little bit of a crosswind if you're Clayton right to left, but mostly hurting the Comets. A good snap. The kick is away. CJ, that wind just knocked it right down. Took a fortuitous Comet bounce. Oh, that ball probably could have rolled another couple yards if it wasn't down. But, Jay, even though Clayton couldn't move the ball offensively, a great special teams play pinning the Trojans back at their own about 7-yard line, where we'll get our first look at senior quarterback Monzel Campbell.
Well, if there's anybody hotter than Monzel Campbell, I sure would like to meet him, particularly these last 3 games. And what a whale of a season he has had for West Brunswick. 1,800 yards combined, 17 TDs. He's rushed over 100 yards in a game 4 times. He's just been brilliant.
Johnny Magby on the catch, trying to turn the corner, but he is dropped near the 10 or 12-yard line. Looks like maybe Magby picked up 3, maybe 4 yards on the swing pass. And Jay, Monzel Campbell has rushed for 15 scores and thrown for 7 this season. He has accounted for 22 total touchdowns in 7 games.
Unbelievable. And how many, the past 3 games, was it 14, 15 touchdowns?
6 against Topsail, 4 against Chapel Hill, and 4 more against South
14
Brunswick.
in the last 3 games. It's incredible.
2nd and 6 from the 12-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And there's that tough Clayton defensive front, including number 44.
That's Rambo.
Mason Rambo right there to hit Magby. Magby maybe picked up a yard to the 13-yard line, but the Trojans need the 18 for a first down. It will be 3rd and a long 5 or short 6 here as the Trojans bring another receiver into the formation.
Yeah, Mason Rambo, a 6'2", 215-pound junior middle linebacker. He's a good one, Sam. 63 tackles, 6 for a loss, forced a fumble, sold some tickets, drove the bus over.
Yep, handed out some popcorn.
He probably did.
So 3rd and 6, ball at the 12 or 13. Hitch route intended for Locke Murphy falls incomplete, and both defenses force a 3-and-out on the first possession of the game, and the Trojans will have to punt from deep in their own territory on their first drive, or after their first drive.
Yeah, Sam, this is a team I think you do not want to play field position with, right? Because they're so big and tough. Let's see if Murphy can really kick the Trojans out of trouble.
Weston Sharp, the long snapper, gets a good one off. Murphy with a low driving kick. Whoa, look at that, Jay. Murphy completely flips the field, and that punt is going to roll out of bounds at the 21-yard line. 38 and 39, Jay. That is a 77-yard punt by senior Locke Murphy. 77.
Sunset Strip. I remember. Yeah,
67.
Okay,
folks.
67.
67.
Whatever.
It was 31 on this side, 29 on this side. 66-yard punt.
Here's the good news for West. They were in trouble, but they are not now, just by virtue of that great kick by Murphy. And number 13, Avery Clemens, the sophomore, good kick coverage that time. Down the ball.
Yep,
so
kicked it away from the return man, got a great bounce, and now Clayton has a 1st and 10 at its own 21. A high snap. Jay.
Trouble.
Patrick Vereen trying to track him down, and he does. That is hitting all the way across midfield. Finally brought down at the 43-yard line. A gain of 36 yards and a Clayton Comet first down.
Well, as we were saying earlier, Sam, these guys can score quick by that. You know, you give Hinton the ball and he can go 70 yards, or they can just grind it out at you. And Hinton, 5'11" senior, going to Fayetteville State, as you mentioned. And he's over 1,000 yards on the year rushing. An incredible 8.5 yards per carry and 18 touchdowns and no fumbles. So don't look for Hinton to put the ball on the ground.
1st and 10 at the 43. There's Hinton again, still on his feet. Finally brought down at about the 37-yard line, so a gain of 6 yards, maybe 7. Yeah, 6 yards sets up a 2nd and 4 from the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Johnny Magby on the stop that time. Magby's had a great senior year. 18 tackles, a couple of interceptions, 5-pass defense. But
And
you don't want him making all these tackles, right?
No, that's back-to-back plays where a Trojan safety made a tackle. First Patrick Vereen, now Magby. 2nd and 4 from the 37. And Johnny Magby probably made a game-changing play against Chapel Hill, an interception early in the 4th quarter that set up a touchdown. Pass was complete to number 2, Jaden Farrington. And Farrington got enough yardage for a Comet first down. It's going to be Clayton 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line of the Trojans. Jay, so far, this whole game's been played in West Brunswick territory.
Yeah, again, a team you don't want to play the field game with is Clayton. Farrington, leading receiver for the Comets.
Boy, West was there. It just couldn't quite bring Hinton down. Eventually, they stand him up at about the 29-yard line, and they drop Hinton for a gain of 3 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 7 from the 29.
Yeah, True Robinson, great penetration that time. Robinson has been on a tear here lately, hasn't he, Sam, defensively?
And Jay probably played his best game of his senior season last week against Chapel Hill.
He sure picked a good time to do it.
Boy, Jay, there are no real surprises with the Clayton offense, are there? They just line up and pound you, try to pound you into submission.
Yeah, they're so big and so well coached.
Man in motion. There's Hinton again. West was there but couldn't bring him down. Finally sling him down just inside the 25-yard line. Ball's marked at about the 24.5. So it's going to be a 3rd and 2, we'll call it, 2.5, as Clayton needs, what, Jay, about the 22-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, Luke King had a shot at Hinton that time and was just able to get away, and 44, Carter Wyatt put him down.
Hinton dropped in the backfield.
Look at True.
22. True Robinson with a huge stop. They drop Hinton for a loss of 3 or 4 yards, setting up a 4th down from the 28.
Telling you, Sam Hickman, I'm going to start selling T-shirts. Truth will be served, right? By True Robinson. What a great year. He's been really getting off the ball quick here in this second possession of the night for Clayton.
Jay, it looks like Clayton's going to leave the offense on the field, probably a little too far in West territory to punt it and maybe too far back for a field goal. It's 4th and 6. Ball's at the 28-yard line. Play clock winding down. Oh, man. Oh, he had a man wide open on the wheel route. And number 10, Noah Anderson, just sailed the throw. But, boy, what a play call that was. West Brunswick forgot to cover the wheel route. But, boy, feels like they might be hanging on a little for dear life here early as Clayton's moved the ball well in their territory a couple times. Once on a kick return, once on a nice drive. But we're still scoreless, Jay. Exactly 5 minutes left here in the opening frame.
Wow.
Boy, we got 2 flags on the play. Jay, I think there might be one is going to be an illegal shift, and I think they may have got someone on the perimeter for a hold. I think they might both be against the Trojans. We're going to have to wait on the signal from the White Hat. So a procedure penalty against West. Oh, both side referees threw the flag. They threw the same flag, yep. So it looks like Clayton's going to decline that, partner.
Huh.
Yep, that penalty is declined.
They'll take the play.
Cobb was dropped for no gain on the jet sweep there. So that'll set up a 2nd.
Let me tell you, Sam,
no, he lost a yard.
Did he lose a yard?
Yeah, 2nd and 11 from the 28.
Well, JJ's lucky he didn't lose his life because that was Donovan Spellman who ripped and threw him to the ground that time. This kid Spellman, we talked about earlier, is a big-time player.
And, Jay, along with West Brunswick's Carter Wyatt, Spellman is another player in this game who's received multiple Division I offers, scholarship offers. Just a junior, but Donovan Spellman will be playing on Saturdays at probably a Power 5 school.
No question about it.
Ooh, dangerous throw there by number 2, Monzel Campbell. Clayton had that well covered from the start. West sent Avery Clemens on a deep route, and then Mike Smith out of the backfield. Clayton was all over both of them, and so Campbell just kind of threw it at the feet of J.J. Cobb, setting up a 3rd and 10 from about the 29.
Yeah, I expect Shane Handy has looked at Monzel Campbell a lot over the past week, as his team has, and they are well prepared to defend. They just don't want to let him get to the edge and get to the outside where he can really do some damage.
It's going to be a run up the middle. Running back still on his feet. Clayton trying to strip the ball out, but Magby brought down at about the 33-yard line. Magby picked up 5 yards on a really tough run, but West Brunswick needed 10 for a first down, and that's once again going to bring Locke Murphy onto the field to punt. West Brunswick's had the ball twice, and they've yet to gain a first down against the Clayton Comets. Jay, we talked a lot about the Clayton massive offensive line, but their front 7 on defense is as good as anyone West has played all year.
Well, you got
maybe in the last couple of years.
Yeah, they only give up 10 points a game, and they got a lot of Jimmies and Joes, that's for sure.
Shank.
Not
Murphy shanks
a good one.
it. So after a 66-yard punt, that one's out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So, Jay, that punt was 15 yards.
Wow.
Boy, Jay, in a game where it looks like points are going to be at a premium, field position is so important, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, Sam. And again, as we said before, you don't want to play a field position game with Clayton. And it also demonstrates the importance of special teams. That one not the kind of punt that Murphy generally provides, and it's going to put the Trojans on their heels here.
So the second drive out of 3 tonight that Clayton is starting in the West Brunswick territory, this one at the 48. There's Hinton.
My goodness.
Boy, took a hit there by number 44, Carter Wyatt, and 14, Patrick Vereen. 3 yards on the game, maybe 3.5. Ball just across the 45-yard line, not quite to the 44. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Comets.
Sam, I'm just looking at that offensive line. Golly, that looks like, 7 bulldozers coming at you.
I mean, they are just
Klingenbeck, Coates.
Green.
2 Coates.
Brothers?
Will and Marcus.
The Coates brothers. Speed sweep. He nearly dropped it, partner, and then lost his footing.
Oh, that's a pop.
And was dropped behind the 45-yard line. Was it true?
Oh, no. That time it was
Wyatt.
It was Wyatt. And Luke King in on that stop, too. King moving them feet around pretty good here this evening, the senior. 22 tackles on the year. Solo 13, tackle for loss 1, and Big Luke helping out early on for the Trojans.
And Jay, Clayton receiver number 13, Everett Boyd, had some trouble holding on to that ball on the exchange. He bobbled it, and then right as he caught it and secured it, he kind of lost his footing, setting up a 3rd and 7 from the 45-yard line.
Yeah, big down here for West. Need to hold them.
Anderson drops back, fires a deep pass. The wind got it.
The wind's got – who's going to –
Patrick Vereen, interception, rips it away from the receiver, dropped at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be a Trojan first down. Senior safety Pat Vereen with the first used defensive play of the game for the Trojans.
I said that there was time for the Trojans defense to come up with a big play, and absolutely Patrick Vereen, his 3rd interception of the year. Sam, this kid has had one heck of a senior season in that defensive secondary for Coach Brett Hickman's squad.
Ball hawk, Jay. He played that one perfectly.
He did, yeah.
Now, but Jay, if you're Clayton, not the worst thing. It doubles as kind of a punt. You throw one up, see what happens, and West is still starting at its own 21.
Not good field position for the Trojans. See what they can do. Man. Oh, he's
Campbell's
going
to fire it deep.
No flag.
Pass interference
flag.
on the defense. That's going to be a free 15 for the West Brunswick Trojans and move the ball out to the 36-yard line. So Campbell and Avery Clemens can't connect, but West Brunswick or Campbell avoids pressure, just throws it up in a one-on-one situation, and it's going to pay dividends as the Trojans are going to get a 15-yard pass interference penalty.
Yeah, Clemens, a good battle for the ball that time with Jamarion Roundtree. Roundtree gets called for the pass interference, so that's the first down of the game, I think, for the Trojans, right?
It is.
And yet, Campbell has not run the ball yet,
He
Sam.
hasn't had one rush attempt yet.
I wonder what's going on here, huh?
Until now.
There's one.
And look at him go, Jay. I tell you, he's
Tough
still
kid.
on his feet.
Tough kid.
All the way across the 40, dropped at the 42-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 yards out to the 42-yard line, where the Trojans will face a 2nd and 4. Again, 2nd and 4 from the Trojan 42.
Yeah, Monzel Campbell, 6 foot, $175, 1,026 yards on the ground this year, 8.4 per touch. And he can go the distance. Long gain of 65 yards. Pressure.
Oh, and
down.
he's sacked. Man. I mean, Jay, Clayton was in the backfield that time right when Campbell got the ball and set his feet.
Yeah. Jaden Moore, the senior defensive end for the Comets that time on the stop. 6.5 sacks on the year, make it 7.5 now.
And now the Trojans are behind the chains again, partner. They got a 3rd and about 8 from the 38-yard line. They need the 46 for a first down.
You want to stay on schedule with these guys.
2 yards on the carry from Monzel Campbell, and Jay, we can hear a little bit from the press box, and looked like he might have had a little avenue right there on the outside, just couldn't quite get to it before Clayton closed in.
West would be well advised to punt this ball in the first quarter,
yes,
right?
Get the snap off. And Jay, if the game clock and play clock are right, they have to.
Okay.
Because there's a 1 second difference. They would get a delay of game if they waited here. So
they don't want to wait too long.
We'll see if Murphy can get off a better kick this time. There's 6 seconds left in the first quarter and counting. A good snap by Weston Sharp. The kick is away. This one's a beauty. Fielded cleanly by Clayton right at the 25-yard line. Let's see, Jay, 25 and another 35-yard kick by number 5, Locke Murphy. That was also the final play of the first quarter. And, Jay, after a 42-35 shootout a week ago, we are scoreless here tonight. Second round of the playoffs, it's West Brunswick 0, Clayton 0 on ATMC TV. Jay Combs, we are back for the start of the second quarter. It's Clayton 0, West Brunswick 0, second round of the 3AA state playoffs. West Brunswick trying to advance to the third round for the first time since 2003, trying to advance to the Eastern Finals for the first time since 1993. We're scoreless through 1. Clayton with a 1st and 10 at its own 25. Pass caught by number 13, Everett Boyd, brought to the turf by Johnny Magby. Jay Clayton mixed it up a little bit that time, threw it on first down, and was able to gain 15 yards.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, a team that principally runs the football, but got some good yardage that time going through the air. Let's see if the Comets come back to that. Noah Anderson, the quarterback.
Oh, Clayton slinging it now, partner.
He slung that one a long way. way long way.
That one over the head of the intended receiver, number 2, Jaden Farrington. West Brunswick senior cornerback Malachi Hewitt, who's had another outstanding season in the Trojan secondary, was running with Farrington step for step. But the pass, boy, Jay, when Noah Anderson let that one fly, the wind just drove it. I mean, I think a lot further than Anderson anticipated he was going to throw it.
Yeah, you know, it did the opposite to him in that first quarter, and Patrick Vereen intercepted it that time with the wind at his back. Went a long way.
West is there. Hyson Hussein drops, hitting in the backfield. Boy, only a loss of a yard there. I thought it was about 3 or 4 yard loss, but forward progress puts Hinton down at the 39-yard line, where it's going to be a 3rd and 11 for the Comets. 11:15 left in the second frame.
Well, that's a big play by Hussein that time, the senior. Kind of a slow start this year, was nicked up early, but he's been coming on. 22 tackles, 10 of them solo, a couple of sacks, 5 hurries. Hussein.
Man, I thought Hinton had some running room there too, and Hussein just out of nowhere made the play. 3rd and 11. West Brunswick pressures him, hit him, and a nice pass break up by 44, Carter Wyatt. And what a hit by number 4, Michael Simpson on the quarterback. The Trojans dialed up a blitz there, and the incomplete pass is going to force a Clayton punt.
Well, let me tell you, that great defensive call that time by the Trojan staff, tremendous execution. This kid, Michael Simpson, only a 10th grader. He's going to be a player, Sam, and of course,
yes,
look at the quickness in number 44, Carter Wyatt, getting back defensively.
So 4th and 11, ball's at the 39-yard line. West was there, partner. They were there, and a great Clayton bounce. Ball out of bounds at about the 12-ish yard line.
Vereen was just there, wasn't he, Sam?
Boy, I thought West had it. I thought West had it. And if they did, Jay, there was about 4 green shirts ready to scoop it up and maybe run it in. Instead, a great punt by Clayton rolled out of bounds actually at the 17-yard line. And once again, Jay, not good starting field position for the Trojans. They're backed up inside their own 20 and playing with a stiff breeze in their face.
Yeah, they are, but those little short, teeny tiny passes between Campbell and J.J. Cobb, they can do some damage. Maybe they can get that going on this possession.
Spellman. That's a loss of about 5 yards on 1st down. Boy, West it has not figured out the Clayton defense just yet. Not really moving the ball on the ground, having a tough time finding any openings through the air. And Jay, the tough part is you think, well, try to throw the ball down the field, but then you have to protect Campbell for 4 or 5 seconds against one of the best defensive fronts in the East.
Well, yeah, and it's tough throwing into this pretty brisk wind. They need him to run.
There's Campbell around the corner, found a little bit of running room, but he was knocked out of bounds shy of the original line of scrimmage, or right at it. Ball marked at about the 16, and now it's going to be West Brunswick facing a 3rd and 11.
Yeah, a great job so far this evening by Clayton on denying Campbell the chance to get around the edge. They have just really gone east-west on Monsell. And who's it on?
We have a flag on the field.
Waiting on the call from the white hat. There was some movement on both sides. We'll see if Clayton drew West Brunswick into the Yep, it's going to be against the Clayton Comets. So if nothing else, Jay, it gives the Trojans a little bit of breathing room. It's going to be about a 3rd and long 6 here. Ball marked at the 21-yard line.
You know, but once upon a time in West Brunswick football, 3rd and 6 was like
a death sentence.
Yeah, no more, right? Not this year anyway, for sure. The offense has really come to light, principally behind Campbell. Let's see if he can do it again.
So 3rd and 6, ball's marked at the 21-yard line.
Oh,
ball's on the ground, partner.
On the ground. That's going to be a fumble.
And the one thing West Brunswick had to avoid.
No.
Oh, hold on, Jay.
I mean, maybe
hold
not.
on.
What are they going to call? Yeah.
Nope.
So Donovan Spellman.
Hickman arguing that it was a shovel pass attempt and should have been an incomplete pass unsuccessfully, and now Clayton has the ball inside the West Brunswick 25 and a fresh set of downs. Boy, a catastrophic mistake there by the Trojans.
Brett not too happy about that, and Campbell tough to do anything when you got Spellman hanging on to you. So Monongah comes up with the loose ball, and it's
and there's Hinton.
Hinton. Ooh. Boy, this could be a really big possession for both teams. Of course, that was Wyatt in on the tackle that time, but got a flag down. Going to go against West.
An unsportsmanlike penalty against the Trojans.
And that's not going to help.
Coming apart at the seams a little bit, Jay, here early in the second quarter. Boy, the one thing you want to avoid, Jay, even if you run it, get tackled, punt it away, you've held them scoreless for a quarter and, 2 or 3 minutes, and now all of a sudden you blink, a turnover, you blink, and Clayton's got first and goal at the 6-yard line, 7-yard line.
The kind of team that, will take advantage of those opportunities. Let's see if West can come up with an answer.
Hinton again. He's got the edge, and he's going to score. Hinton from 7 yards out around the right side, and the Comets have a 6-0 lead with 9:29 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, nothing fancy that time. Hinton got to the edge, as you said, Sam, and then it's a race. He's going to win that. So who, number 14 is it? Yeah, Wyatt Williams.
Wyatt Williams.
Senior
W
kicker.
squared.
Yeah.
9:29 left before halftime. Clayton with a 7-0 lead. Kick is up. Williams splits the uprights, and the Comets have a 7-0 lead in the second quarter. So, Jay, each team has turned it over once, but Clayton turned it over on West Brunswick's 21, and West Brunswick fumbled inside its own 25. Clayton, 2 plays, 21 yards, and the visiting Comets with a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, Sam, how many times in the decades and decades we've been doing this together, right? That we talk about the fact that most football games are lost, not won, and generally they're lost with turnovers or some procedural calls, some mistakes, and that is that's a hurtful one for the Trojans for sure. But you know what? This team doesn't get down on themselves, and they practice hard, they play hard, and I would expect them to be able to, come back with something. But they got to get Campbell on track, right? Give Clayton some credit. Monzel has not been able to get things going with his legs or through the air here in the first quarter plus tonight.
Jay, it's tough. It's tough when you're not controlling the line of scrimmage. I think the chief difference in the Topsail, South Brunswick, Chapel Hill games is that West Brunswick's offensive line was able to, if not move the defensive line, at least create a stalemate and watch Campbell go to work through a quarter and 2.5 minutes. Clayton has completely dominated the line of scrimmage when West Brunswick has the football.
Well, they have, Sam. You're absolutely right, and they've done a great job of kind of spying, got those eyes on Campbell. They're not going to let him, or they have not let him get outside. The Trojans just need kind of a big play to get going here.
Well, there's a break, partner. Clayton tries a little short directional pooch kick, and it goes out of bounds, and that will take the ball out to the 35-yard line. And, Jay, that's the best field position West has had tonight.
Well, yeah, in a field possession game, that's far and away the best for West. So let's see if Monzel and the Trojans can get something going. And, again, that offensive line is really going to have to dig deep against this very big and very athletic defensive unit for Clayton.
And, Jay, it's got to be tough to throw the ball in these conditions, does it not? I mean, this is a stiff wind here tonight.
Wind is killer for quarterbacks.
Campbell.
Outside.
Around the edge, still on his feet.
Outside.
Campbell still on it. Oh, he's marked out at the 50.
Oh.
He's marked out at the 50-yard line, but a gain of 15 yards and a West Brunswick first down.
Well, you know, that time the play started in the center, or the middle, but Monzel Campbell, with those great running instincts that he has, was able to get to the outside, and I don't know, Sam, they're going to mark it at the 50. You're right.
15-yard run. Yep, Jay, I wondered when he tiptoed the sideline there how in the world he stayed in. It turns out he didn't.
Yeah. He's very nimble, that's for sure. Quick feet. And a couple of those runs and a couple of those kinds of plays, Wes is right back in it.
1st and 10, ball marked at midfield, 9:19 left in the second quarter. They're going to run it again. Campbell trying to weave his way through the line. A gain of a yard sets up a 2nd and 9 from the 49-yard line.
Streeter in on the stop that time for the Comets of Clayton.
No, just not a whole lot of running room, is there, partner?
Not
They're
in the
good
middle.
on the line. They're good at linebacker.
Well, they stretch you too.
They're
you know?
good in the secondary.
All
West
right,
runs a
get to the-
reverse.
Can't.
Cobb gets the edge. He's got some running room.
Boy.
Still on his feet. Jay, that's enough for a West Brunswick first down.
Yeah.
Donovan Spellman thought he was held on the play, and maybe he was. There was no flag, and the reverse to J.J. Cobb picks up from the 49 to the 38, 11 yards, enough for a West Brunswick first down.
West Brunswick's biggest offensive attribute is their speed, and the last two plays you saw their speedy guys with Campbell and that time J.J. Cobb. And, yeah, Spellman was lobbying for a hold, didn't get it.
Campbell in the shotgun. This time he hands to Magby, and Magby was hit right as he got the handoff. Tackled by number 5, Amari Bryant, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, you know, he's some kind of stud too. Bryant.
They're all over the field.
Yeah, and they're big.
I mean, they're fast, physical, big. I mean, this is a good football team, folks.
Real good high school football team. 6'2", 215 pounds is Amari Bryant. 27 tackles on the year.
Special shout out to Remy Ray and Tatum Sellers in the house tonight. Faithful Trojan fans. Pass intended for number 9, Jordan McCall. Pass was a little bit high, hit McCall in the hands. McCall couldn't haul it in. So, again, Jay, the situations you want to avoid if you're the Trojans, it's a 3rd and 11, actually, from the 39-yard line.
Yeah, this is Clayton, the team you want to stay on schedule with for sure, right?
No doubt.
Playing from behind on your down and distance is a very difficult task.
False start. Left tackle.
Hurts.
62 kind of came up just a little bit out of his stance there. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and what makes an incredibly difficult 3rd and 11 into a unlikely 3rd and 16 situation. But, Jay, like you said, in years past, you know, West not real equipped to handle a situation like this. This year they've been a lot more explosive, but they also haven't faced a defense like the Clayton Comets have.
You're right, and again here they need to maintain possession of the ball regardless of what happens.
They're going to keep it on the ground. Campbell on his feet all the way inside the 40, down at the 35. And, Jay, if nothing else, it's a manageable 4th down situation. I think maybe the Trojans will try to draw them off sides, even though it wouldn't net them a first down here. You know, it would get them into a 4th and 2 situation. And, Jay, there was a main difference. That play was wide open, and Donovan Spellman tracked Campbell down from behind, whereas nobody else the Trojans have played have had a player with that capability on the defensive line.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of kid, as you said earlier, Sam, you're going to see playing on Saturdays at a very high level before his career is through. And who knows, maybe on Sundays. He seems to have that kind of potential for sure. So 6:48 to go. The Trojans trailing 7-0 second quarter here at West Brunswick. My buddy Sam Hickman is playing hurt tonight, folks. You probably hear it a little bit in that kind of sexy, gravelly voice he's got going, right? But, man, he's doing a heck of a job, as he always does. And
Jay, I tell you, it wouldn't stop a very special fan from tuning in tonight. A certain 4-year-old, Huck Hickman, watching on his mama's telephone.
Is Huck watching?
Yep, she's allowing him to watch the first half, and then, probably some of the second half, depending on how it falls with his bedtime. But he is watching, so hello, Huck. I love you. I'll see you after the game.
And Uncle Jay says, Hammer and Huck Hickman, ain't nobody got a swing like that kid. I want some of that. I want some of that action, let me tell you.
So, Jay, West is leaving the offense on the field. Ball's marked at the 35-yard line. West needs the Clayton 28 for a first down.
Get one of them big-time plays. Need it.
Oh,
wrong way.
Can't block him, Jay.
56.
Can't block him.
Cade Cyrus. Sam, every time I look down at this roster, and you got another kid's name you're going to holler out. This is Cade Cyrus. Haven't heard him tonight. And he's got 25 tackles on the year. He's 6'2", 240 pounds. I mean, there's nobody over there, I think, under 240 pounds. They're all big and they're all good.
And, Jay, something else important to point out, Clayton's not doing this by stacking the box. They're playing their regular defensive front. Boy, Hinton had a big play and slipped down at the 50-yard line. Still a gain of 6 yards, sets up a 2nd and 4. And, Jay, you see as the game has worn on a little bit, Clayton finding a little more running room.
Well, and you wonder at some point in time those big bodies up front take a toll. That time, it's kind of funny, 77, Coy Turnage, senior lineman, 6'4", 280. He reached down and picked up his running back Hinton with one hand.
6:05 left before halftime. Clayton 7, West Brunswick 0. Remember, the Trojans do get the ball to start the second half, so we'll see if that has any
pressure.
Impact. Robinson couldn't get to him, but a host of Trojans do. Trip Hardy helped clean it up, and Hinton loses a couple of yards back to the 48. So a good defensive stand there sets up a 3rd and 6 for the Comets with 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Boy, it helps so much defensively if you can get some penetration, and that's what True did that time. And then Trip Hardy, boy, you talk about an unsung kid.
Boy, what a year he's had.
He had a great year for West defensively, and a lacrosse player to boot, so wonderful senior season.
Played him in the
Hardy.
Same season this spring.
He's a double up guy.
Clayton gonna pass. Oh, what a hit! Carter White drills the receiver right as the ball arrived, and it hits the turf. Incomplete. Division I bound. Jay, by the way, I meant to tell you this.
Another one.
Kid got an offer from Harvard this week.
Oh my gosh!
Harvard, as in Harvard.
As in Harvard. Oh wow.
Jay, tell us about your stint at Harvard.
Yeah, well, I went by.
Drove through campus once.
I went, one time up in Boston. I was up there, but that's as close as I'll ever get. But he is, gosh, what a special kid, to be at such a high level athletically and academically.
So Clayton gonna bring on the punt team.
Oh. Yeah, let that one go.
Oh, and
go.
And carrying it like a loaf of bread, partner.
Malachi, hang on.
We got a Trojan down all the way on the other end of the field. Number 14, Patrick Vereen, real slow to get up on this end.
Yeah, I see him.
Oh, there you go.
They're putting pressure on the kicker again, and Patrick almost got one earlier tonight and came pretty close that time too. He's hobbling off. Hopefully he is going to be okay. West needs Patrick Vereen in their defensive secondary.
Do. Jay, don't you feel like if West could somehow get this thing to the locker room down 7-0, that would be a win of sorts?
Well, your brother wouldn't think that, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Cobb's got something to say about it, Sam. Can't get around
Just
the
can't
edge.
get the edge. Yep.
You know,
but Jay, that's a kind of play West Brunswick was missing the whole first quarter and a half. I mean, that's a good 5-yard game.
Yeah.
You know, keeps you on schedule at least, if not ahead of schedule. But Jay, that's a play we've seen Cobb score on. This year, and Clayton's just doing such a great job.
And that's because you see him score on those plays, but he ain't playing a team the caliber of Clayton. These guys hit you north-south, and they stretch you out east-west. Very, very formidable defense.
2nd and 5. Ball is marked at the 15-yard line. Quarterback draw.
Nothing. Just can't. Look at all the white shirts, Sam. Look at all the white shirts.
Picked up maybe a yard or two to the 17. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and about 3 from the 17-yard line. And, Jay, if I'm the Trojans, I'm taking every bit of play clock I can here before I snap this ball, trying to bleed that first half clock. Oh, maybe trying to draw them offsides here on a 3rd and short situation. An offside penalty would be enough for a first down.
Got to get Monzel to the outside, or somebody to the outside, Sam, whether it be Cobb or Magby or.
Play clock winding down, partner.
There it is to the outside. It's Cobb. Not enough.
Face mask. I think they're going to get Clayton with a face mask. There was nothing else even going on over there, I don't believe, partner, unless maybe it was a hold on the edge. If it's a face mask, that's going to be enough for a first down.
Ooh, that's a tough way to get it, but
Boy.
they'll take it. Oh, no.
Nope. Push in the back against West Brunswick. Too good to be true, right, partner?
Well, listen, we've talked about the size and the strength of this big Clayton team, but you know what? I'm starting to think, Sam, these guys are as quick as they are big.
Yeah. This defense is the total package.
They are quick, man.
And now the Trojans punting on a 4th and 3 from the 17 into about as stiff a breeze as you're going to find, partner.
I don't think we've had it blow like this all spring
season. This is like
season.
being on the beach
right
here. I mean, it is howling. About 12 seconds on the play clock. Locke Murphy handling the punting duties for the Trojans.
Locke, you need to really get into this one, buddy.
A good snap. The wind just dies, and it's going to be at about the 32-yard line. And excellent starting field position for Clayton. And, Jay, you get the sense here in the tail end of the second quarter, West just hanging on, doing whatever it can do to keep this a one-score game going into the break.
Yeah, Sam, I couldn't agree with you more. And you know, if Clayton's able, even if they kick the field goal here, you probably take it, right? But you got to do whatever you can do to keep the Comets out of the end zone in this last 2:56 of the second quarter.
So 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Run around the left side. West Brunswick once again there. Makes a good stop. They bring Hinton down. Jay, why's the game clock stopped? Oh, a helmet came off. Good call there. Production manager Aaron Varnum.
That was Trip Hardy, I think, in on that stop, Sam, and just kind of like you said, holding on by your fingernails here, right? You know.
Yep. Bright sun in our face.
It is.
With that 6:30 start.
Fighting it all night.
Yep.
Got so excited I knocked off our little sunscreen cover. So
2.5 minutes left.
Uh-oh.
First down, tackled by Carter Wyatt, but that is more than enough yardage for the first down. And for the first down, that's number 13, Everett Boyd, on the catch. And Jay, it's West on the defensive side. It's a little bit of pick your poison, because I feel like you have to stack the box to try to stop this rushing attack, and that leaves a lot of one-on-ones and mismatches on the edges.
Yeah, you know you got to know where 24 Hinton is at all times. So you're going to give up a little bit maybe. Oh,
nobody's there. Quarterback brought down at about the 10-yard line. Game clock continues to run. About 1:45 left before the halftime break.
You know, Clayton's smart. They know that West is keying on Hinton, and That time, number 10, Noah Anderson, kind of put it in his belly and slipped it out and got around the left side there. So nice play by Noah Anderson, senior quarterback.
Boy, Jay, if the Trojans could somehow get a stop here, if they could somehow figure out a way to get a stop here, how big would that be entering the second half? But West Brunswick head coach Brett Hickman wants a timeout with 1:25 left on the game clock in the second quarter. Clayton 7, West Brunswick 0. Jay, quite frankly, the West defense has played well enough to be in this game.
Yeah,
the West Brunswick offense hasn't been able to move the ball, and if we're going to call it like we've seen it, the Trojans have not been able to block Clayton, period. Just haven't been able to block them on the Clayton defensive line, and their linebackers are running free. It has been a real slow couple of quarters for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get it on track. And, you know, I think you're only supposed to play with 11 players on the field, and at times it seems like there's 14 or 15 Clayton defensive players out there, and it's because they are so big and they are so quick and speedy. So, yeah, Sam, the offensive problems for West tonight in the first half, the defense has played very well. The only touchdown given up as the result of that short field.
2nd and 3. Handoff up the middle, touchdown.
Yep.
Just mauled the West Brunswick defensive line. 11-yard touchdown run by Hinton, and Clayton got a stranglehold on this one with 1:20 left in the first half. The visiting Comets have taken a 13-0 lead.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, third rate, currently 13-point margin. We'll see if the point after is good.
Extra point attempt by Williams is up and in. Good catch by the ball boy there for the Comets. And it's a 2-score game with 1:20 left before halftime. A quiet Trojan crowd. The home team, 6-1 Trojans, have not given the home team much to cheer about yet. But, Jay, a lot of football left. The principal issue, as you would say, West Brunswick's inability to move the ball against the Comets.
Well, gosh, Sam, they picked up a couple of first downs tonight. I know one
Two
of
or
them
three
was the result of a penalty. So, yeah, they just haven't been able to solve that really tough, stiff Comet defense. So, what I was getting ready to say before is, you know, sometimes a 2-touchdown margin. That especially with a team that's been scoring the way that West has of late, you know, certainly something you can recover from. But this one has a little different feel. You know, there's a 14-point advantage, and man, it looks like they're way, way, way out in front. You know,
yeah.
So let's see what the guys can dial up here in the last $1:20 of this first half, and it sure would be good to start it off with a good kickoff return. In fact, something that maybe went all the way.
I mean, Jay, what we've seen so far from West Brunswick on offense, scoring 14 feels a bit of a pipe dream against this Clayton D.
Sure does.
That's a high kick, going to be fielded by Magby at about the 7-yard line. He's got a little bit of a seam. Still on his feet, finally brought down at about the 37-yard line. A good kick return by senior tailback Johnny Magby. And, Jay, how aggressive do you expect the Trojans to get with 1:13 left here before the break?
Well, you know, I think they certainly want to be cautious, you know, with that ball. Wow, they do not want to turn it over here, but at the same time, I think you want to take your shot if you can. And I think, again, just the way they play ball all year long, that shot has principally come on the legs of Monzel Campbell. But hard to get him loose here tonight.
He's got Murphy! Murphy with the grab! Still on his feet!
Get out of bounds.
Lock Murphy out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Jay, maybe the best throw of the season by Monzel Campbell. A tight driving spiral into a stiff win.
Yeah.
And the Trojans finally have a scoring opportunity here late in the second quarter.
Sam, that one was location and rotation,
Yep,
right? And,
beautiful pass.
He spun that one up there real good. We're talking about Campbell, with his legs, but he can throw the football too, almost 800 yards through the air. And as tough as it's been to run against this big Comet defensive unit, maybe they got to go up top.
1:03 left in the first half.
Quick.
J.J. Cobb,
quick,
he's got the edge.
Oh.
Dropped inside the 10-yard line. A great tackle over there by number 4, Tyson Riggins, but not before J.J. Cobb picks up about 15 yards on the bubble screen. And Jay, first and goal at the 9-yard line.
Look,
the
who called a
Trojans,
timeout.
first time tonight, Clayton on its heels a little bit. 2 plays, about a 55-yard pass from Campbell to Locke Murphy. About a 45-yard pass from Monzel Campbell to Locke Murphy, and then about a 15-yard gain on a bubble screen to J.J. Cobb. And, Jay, against a defense like this is where it gets real tough because you got less room to operate.
Yeah, it does. But listen, Brett Hickman will take this every time, won't he?
No doubt about it.
All night long been wanting to get down here where it gets tight to see what they can do. And despite, kind of a swirly wind, and I do not forget that West has a real good place kicker in Locke Murphy. So let's, if you're a Trojan fan, let's think 7, not 3, but you want to come away with points.
And Jay, remember, the Trojans
get
get
the
the ball
ball,
after halftime. So getting a little interesting here in Charlotte. First and goal from the 9, West in the shotgun. Campbell keeps it.
That's sweet.
He's inside the 5-yard line, brought down at the 4, and Jay, the game clock's going to continue to run. Only 45 seconds left. The Trojans have to get
up over that ball.
Get lined up.
No timeouts.
35 seconds left. West does have some timeouts left, so
maybe think about taking one here.
Boy,
quick.
this is taking entirely too much time.
It's a big play. He's still trying.
Oh, he's still on his feet.
That clock's running.
Timeout, Trojans.
Okay.
Clock all the way down to about 17 seconds left. Campbell brought down at the 3-yard line. Boy, Jay, it took entirely too much time to get lined up and run that second down play.
Good stop that time by Mononga for Clayton. And let's go into that West huddle. There's Coach Brett Hickman right in the middle. And understand he's been through this quite a few times, both as a coach and as we were saying, Sam, 2003, the last time West has been this far in the playoffs, and the quarterback in that game was the same Brett Hickman. So what a great job Coach Hickman has done. And what's 3rd year here?
3rd season, yep.
Yeah, he's really got things headed in the right direction. And big play for the Trojans here with 17.2, and I don't think they have any timeouts left. So
the scoreboard shows
he's got
none.
one? Yeah.
No, it shows none.
Okay.
0.
Okay. So you gotta get into the end zone or get out of bounds.
Yeah, we'll see what the Trojans do here. 3rd and goal from the 4, and Clayton's going to call a timeout. So a little bit of a chess match here late in the first half. Jay, feels like a must score, right? Some kind of points here.
Some kind of points, yeah. Whether it's going to be a touchdown or not. Of course, if you're a West fan, you desperately want that. But, yeah, some points here would be huge, Sam, not only to narrow the deficit, but just emotionally. And as you've said a couple of times here this evening, West is going to get the ball here to start the 3rd quarter. But, yeah, it's a big play for both teams. Sam, I'm looking across the way. Didn't notice, but you know what? There's a pretty fair representation from Clayton.
Very good.
Across the field. Clayton's around Raleigh, I think.
Not far, yep.
Yeah, so a 2.5, 3-hour drive. But Comet fans are supporting their team, and, of course, West, the Trojan fans are just about as good as it gets. So
big crowd here tonight, Jay. The home bleachers are, well, maybe not quite packed, but as many as they let in with the COVID-19 restrictions. And here we go, 3rd and goal from the 4. Campbell in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. True Robinson in the backfield with him.
The big Mike Smith in that backfield, 235. You need to lay the wood on somebody. There
Avery
it is.
Clemens, number 13, Avery Clemens hauls in the touchdown strike, and the Trojans right back in it with a huge, huge score with 14 seconds left in the first half. Boy, Jay, what a throw from Monzel Campbell. What a catch by Avery Clemens.
You know how much it takes to make a play like that. Boy, give all the credit to the world.
Guts.
Guts. And hey, the offensive line stood up big that time, gave him the time to throw.
Alex Gore, the holder. Locke Murphy, the place kicker. Good snap, good hold. The kick into a stiff breeze is plenty enough. Garrett Powell with a great catch behind the goalpost. Ball boy of the year, Garrett Powell, makes a great catch. And with exactly 14 seconds left in the first half, the Trojans right back in it. Boy, Jay, how about that? After not moving the ball the entire first half, West gets it back with 1:20 left before the break and marches 65 yards in about 6 plays for its first score of the game.
Well, that's how they've been, particularly on this roll the last 3 weeks where they've averaged 39 points a game. A little slow getting started here tonight, and the big play is not on the legs of Campbell but on the arm of Campbell, and the big pass to Murphy set it up. So, listen, these guys, as we were saying, Sam, they don't have much quit in them. In fact, they got no quit in them, and they've worked hard all year for this, and they know they're playing a good opponent, but West Brunswick's a good team, too, so 14-7.
No doubt. Jay, I would not kick this ball to Hinton.
No.
I would not. And, Jay, if you want some more time to come off, I think maybe we might see a squib kick. Normally, Locke Murphy can boom it through the end zone, but with this breeze.
Well, it's kind of died down right now, Sam, so I'm interested to see what Locke's going to do.
I can feel it standing up.
Regardless, important kick coverage for this West special team unit.
Again, 14 seconds. Oh, a short kick.
Geez.
Oh, boy, now Clayton's got it with 10 seconds left right near midfield. And Jay, with Wyatt Williams on his, remember, Clayton's got the wind helping them. And, a 25-yard play here, and Clayton could get some points here before the break.
Well, yeah, and, again, they're principally not a throwing team, although they've thrown the ball here a few times this evening with some success. And, I mean, this is a chance where you very well may see if 24, Deshaun Hinton, who's been kind of bottled up for the most part this evening. He does have 2 touchdowns, but he can go from anywhere on the field real quick.
He
10
can,
seconds.
Jay. You got to, whatever you do, if it's a face mask or whatever, you got to bring him down.
Yeah, put a hat on him.
We'll see if Clayton's going to put it in the air. Ball's at the 46-yard line. They are going to give it to Hinton, and there he goes, Jay.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Who's going to get him?
Nobody.
Gee,
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
What a break.
And there are 0.4 of a second left on the clock. But if that's the case, there probably should be some time put back on the clock, right?
Yeah, and I wonder, it appeared, and I think it was number 11, Johnny Magby was kind of in area with him and didn't really hit him. But maybe Johnny saw he'd already stepped out of bounds, and so if that's the case, and it appears that it is, it's marked where, Sam? At
the 16.
Okay.
It will be a 33-yard field goal from here. But, Jay, I'm not sure Clayton shouldn't just hand it off to Hinton. I mean, his last 5 or 6 carries, he's just been gashing the Trojans. And, Jay, I think, fair to say a lucky break by West Brunswick that Hinton stepped out of bounds.
I'd say Coach Shane Handy out on the field there right around the 20-yard line. And
asking for some time to be put back on that clock.
That would be what he is asking for, and I would not be surprised if he doesn't get a second or two.
Jay, it looks like the place kicker's on the field.
Okay.
14, right?
14
Williams.
is Wyatt Williams, the senior.
Yep, Clayton is going to kick it. And boy, what a devastating end of the first half this will be for West Brunswick if Clayton gets some points. The Trojans had all the momentum with that late score, and then the short 15-yard kind of pooch kick there gave Clayton excellent starting field position. A hit and run sets up this field goal attempt. A good snap. He missed it. The kick is missed. Wyatt Williams misses the field goal attempt, and the Trojans dodge a bullet the size of M.H. Rourke Stadium at the end of the first half. 2 quarters done, and the Trojans are right in the game. West Brunswick trails 14-7 entering the halftime break here on ATMC TV's coverage of the second round of the high school playoffs. Jay Combs, we're back for the start of the second half on ATMC TV. It was all Clayton for what, Jay? The first 22 minutes of game action. West Brunswick scored a touchdown on a pass from Monzel Campbell to Avery Clemens with exactly 14 seconds left before the break. And then Clayton was probably, what, a footstep away from adding a touchdown. Man. But Hinton, the running back, Deshaun Hinton, stepped out of bounds. And Clayton missed a field goal as time expired, so the Trojans will get the ball first to start the second half. What did you see in the first 24 minutes, Jay?
We saw a lot of white shirts in Clayton, Sam, and like I mentioned, it seemed like they had, 13, 14, 15 kids on the field defensively because there's just not many holes out there for the Trojans to work with. Their success came through the air, as you mentioned, the touchdown pass from Campbell to Clemens, but before that, what was that, about a 30-yard pass, I guess?
About 40.
Yeah, 40 to Murphy, and that really set it up. So let's see if halftime adjustments have taken place and the Trojans can get back offensively.
Patrick Vereen's got a save!
He can run.
It's just the kicker to beat.
He can run.
Still on his feet.
He can run.
Patrick Vereen brought down inside the 10-yard line. No flags on the field. What a start to the second half for the West Brunswick Trojans.
Boy,
wow.
Sam Hickman, did they ever need that? And Patrick Vereen, who has an interception already tonight, who came so close to blocking a kick, came so close to returning that one to the house.
And what a great effort play by Clayton. I did not get the number of the player who chased him down and tripped him up at about the 8-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 8 for the Trojans.
Let's see what West can do here. They really need to take advantage of this.
Nope.
Golly day, they're so big and tough.
Man,
woo.
Just in the backfield from the time Campbell got the snap.
Well, that was Jalon Green.
Yeah, he's a hoss.
285 pounds. He's chasing Campbell, and then this kid, Isaiah Mananga, who is one of the defensive backs, 6'3", $195. I mean,
and he returned the opening kickoff, Jay, at 6'3", 195.
They are loaded.
J.J. Cobb, he's got a seam.
He can go. Oh. One more block, Sam.
One more block, and Cobb scores. Instead, he's brought down at about the what, Jay? 3-yard line? Let's see where it's marked. Yeah, we'll call it 3rd and goal from the 3. West had needed one more block there on the edge, and Cobb would have scored, but couldn't get it. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Tough to run around him, Sam. That Eli Price that time, number 4, Tyson Riggins. They stretch, and just don't let you get around.
So 3rd and goal from the 4, 10.5 minutes left. Pop pass, touchdown! Oh, that's a flag. Touchdown, Monzel Campbell to number 35, Mikey Smith. And the Trojans an extra point away from tying the game. All Trojans here to start the second half. Boy, Jay, I can't believe they didn't get Clayton for a late hit there. That was about 4 seconds after Smith hauled in the touchdown pass.
If they didn't, boy, the Comets really lucked out that time, Sam.
Yep. Weston Sharp, the long snapper. Alex Gore does the holding. Murphy's kick is blocked.
Oh, sugar.
Blocked, and the Trojans are still down by 1. Huge blocked extra point there, and Clayton stays in front. Boy, much to the chagrin of West Brunswick head coach Brett Hickman, who ripped his headset off there after the extra point was blocked. But 10-28, Jay, you couldn't have scripted a better start. Minus the missed extra point. Patrick Vereen returns the kickoff about 70 yards to the 8-yard line. Monzel Campbell hits Michael Smith with a touchdown pass to pull the Trojans within 1.
Well, that's 2 times this evening. West has gotten into the end zone, not on the legs of Campbell, but on the arm of Campbell. And each play, not a very long pass, but both times very accurate on the part of the senior Monzel Campbell. That time to as you mentioned, Michael Smith, who was wide open alone in the end zone. And I kind of share with you, Sam, I'm surprised that Clayton didn't get called for a personal foul. That was a pretty...
that was egregious, way after Smith had hauled in the touchdown pass when the Clayton defender delivered a blow. And then, Jay, the momentum changes there with the blocked extra point. We'll have to circle that play to see if it comes back to haunt the Trojans.
I'll tell you what, it's as much trouble West has had moving the ball tonight, to be down 14-13 with half the game really to go is a pretty good position for the Trojans to be.
So Murphy will handle the kickoff duties. Oh, that's a big kick. That's a touchback.
That's more like Murphy kicking.
Yeah, Lock Murphy booms that one across the goal line. And it'll be a touchback. Clayton will start this drive 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line.
Well, the Trojans have the wind at their back, although it looks like it's died down a little bit, although there is some swirling going on a wee bit. I don't think that had anything to do with the block kick. I think that was more just
West didn't block somebody over on the edge.
Somebody, right. So special teams so important.
Jay, Deshaun Hinton started to get loose in the Clayton backfield at the end of the first half. Let's see if the Trojans can bottle them up here. They do. They knock Hinton down right at the line of scrimmage. Patrick Vereen was there. 35, Mikey Smith also there on the tackle. The no gain on the play sets up a 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, 2 good plays in a row by the junior Michael Smith, catching the touchdown pass and making penetration that time. So Trojans a good first down of this possession against Clayton.
Going to be 2nd and 10, ball's at the 20. Clayton's going to throw this one. Uh-oh. Pass complete, receiver, leave that's 13, Everett Boyd all the way out to about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Boyd scares me. He's only caught 4 passes this year, but 2 of them have been for touchdowns. So,
and Jay, it's interesting. West playing, the DBs over there playing up close to the line of scrimmage, and then right before the snap, they're backing up a little bit, and Clayton has taken advantage of it a couple of times.
Yeah, I think West is kind of daring them to throw deep, and despite that, they're effective throwing short. Chase him.
Oh, push in the back. Boy, number 14, Patrick Vereen, took a shove to the back there at about the 34-yard line, probably about the 36, 37-yard line. And you better believe West is going to accept that penalty. That's going to back the Comets up into about a 1st and 18 situation.
Yeah, no question about it. And good pursuit that time by True Robinson, but you're so very right, Sam, that Patrick got blocked in the back, so the officials right on the spot and picked it up. So
and Jay, probably not the maybe not the worst thing for Clayton, because Vereen was going to make that play, and it would have been about a loss of 5.
Yeah.
And so I'd take 1st and 18 or 1st and 19 over 2nd and 15, an extra down for the Comets to pick up the yardage.
I just keep looking at that offensive line. They're so big.
Trojan faithful making some noise here, partner.
Marcus Coates, 280.
Delay a game. That's going to be a delay a game against the Comets.
Wow.
Ooh, no penalty. Clayton had to burn a timeout.
Well,
Clayton had to burn a timeout. Let's see, Jay. The original line of scrimmage was the 36 ball at the 20. It's 1st and 20. Yep, 1st and 20 at the 26-yard line. So Jay, West had an extra point blocked, and now Clayton, with 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, has to burn one of its 3 second half timeouts.
Yeah, and doesn't seem that big a deal now, but less than a minute to go in the 4th quarter, and you're trying to move the ball, or that timeout could be very important. So taking a look at that Clayton huddle, and in the middle of it is their head coach, Shane Handy. And Sam, you said he was a very successful coach from the western part of the state?
Yeah, Randleman And you know, full disclosure, Jay, I'm not exactly sure where that is, but I know Coach Handy's won a lot of football games.
Yeah.
I understand you had a chance encounter with him before the
did.
game.
What a lucky, you know, I'm walking across the field and he comes up to me and he shakes hands and he says, "Gosh, thanks for coming to the game." And I said, he's Coach, you know, Coach Handy, and I said, "Coach, we're doing a game on ATMC tonight." And he said, "That's awesome." And I said, "Coach, you guys are really big." And he hesitated. He said, "Yeah, we are."
Yeah, no denying that.
Yeah, he said, "We're big." But
Randleman, actually near Asheboro, I'm told, in Randolph County. Home of Richard Petty.
got time.
Oh, all kinds of traffic.
Oh!
And the ball is batted down. Boy, the Clayton sideline going berserk over there, calling for a pass interference penalty, but no flag on the play. Jay, there was about 7 different guys there between West defenders and Clayton receivers who were around that ball when it fell to the turf.
Yeah, Mal Hewitt, I think, got his hand on the ball, but listen, that's not the way that play was designed, I'm guessing, because you certainly don't want to have, as you said, a cluster of 7 players around the ball. So second and still real long.
Second and 20 from the 26-yard line. Hinton in the backfield. Screen. Oh, very nearly picked off by number 44, Carter Wyatt.
We got a flag.
There's a flag.
What is going on?
Intentional grounding, because I believe that pass was thrown at the feet of an offensive lineman who's not an eligible receiver. So we're going to have to wait and see what the call is from the officials.
Well, I know
looks like it may have been in the area of intentional grounding.
Well, let's see what they do. I know number 75, Marcus Coates, was way down the field that time. And that's
ineligible man downfield.
Yeah.
Great call, Jay. I thought maybe intentional grounding, but it's an eligible receiver downfield. Declined, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 20, ball at the 26-yard line.
Sam, it's kind of hard to miss Coates because he's 6'2", 280 pounds, right? So he kind of sticks out. And I don't know if he was a fellow or not, but either way, you know, West benefits from that. So 3rd and a ton.
Now, Jay, is that a loss of down? The down marker over there still showing 2nd, but I believe it's going to be 3rd.
Well, now they got 2nd on the board too, Sam. What's going on?
I'm not sure, partner. Hinton right into Hyson Hussein.
That's what's going on.
A big stop by the Trojans. Little extracurricular activity between Trip Hardy and a Clayton offensive lineman who is about 3 times his size. But I promise you, Trip Hardy's not going to quit fighting.
Sam, something's wrong. They missed a down, and Brett Hickman is out on the field, and I'm pretty sure.
Yep, the referee's signaling 4th down.
Okay.
The referee is signaling 4th down. Jay, the issue is I don't think Clayton recognizes it yet. Their offense is still out on the field.
Well, this is confusing for anybody. Down marker saying 3rd. The scoreboard saying 3rd. The officials are huddled up.
Jay, I think West declined the penalty, but the ball was still moved back. So I think maybe Clayton thought it was still 2nd down, but West, because it declined the penalty, thought it was 3rd.
Well, they're going over to talk to your brother, Coach. Oh, and he's not happy.
He's
not happy.
Yep, it's 3rd down. And I saw him signal decline to the official after the ineligible receiver downfield penalty.
Okay.
So, anyway, apparently on the field the penalty was accepted, and now Clayton has another opportunity on 3rd and 25 to keep this possession alive. 8 minutes left in the 3rd. West is there. They do a good job corralling the receiver and forcing him out of bounds. Number 44, Carter Wyatt, was there. It was Ty Shea Amerson, the senior receiver, who made the grab. But, Jay, probably about 17 yards shy. Ball's at the 28, 18 yards shy of the line to gain, which is going to bring on the Clayton punt team.
You know, Carter Wyatt has improved so much.
Laterally especially.
Yeah, exactly. His speed and his ability to cover, you know, both sides of the field. No wonder a lot of D1 schools are recruiting him hard.
Kick is away. Oh, no.
Stay away from it.
Wow, a great Trojan bounce. Ball is down at about the 50-yard line. So the Trojans down by 1 with 7:40 left in the third will get the ball very, very close as you can get to Clayton territory, Jay, without the ball being on the 49. Yep, it's marked right at the 50. The Trojans 50 yards away from taking a lead in this second-round playoff game. If you just joined us, Clayton scored 2 first-half touchdowns, led 14-0. West Brunswick scored late in the first half to make it 14-7. Trojans scored after a long Patrick Vereen kick return, scored on a touchdown pass early in the third, but the extra point was blocked. So Clayton leads by 1. I mean, Campbell's got no time.
That's Jaden Moore from his defensive end position. Again, Sam, we talked about, you know, these kids are physical, they're big, but they're also very athletic, very quick.
Yep, fast, quick,
yeah,
rangy.
They got some dudes, man. They've got some dudes.
Well, the head coach told you himself before the game they were big, didn't he?
And he said it so politely.
So 2nd and 12 from the 48. Pass to Clemens, caught. And look, Jay, I mean, they're right there when he catches the ball.
Yeah,
but the pass, Jay, that's a good completion there on
an
2nd and 12.
Excellent
boy,
completion.
We got a late flag.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a dead ball unsportsmanlike against Clayton.
Yeah, it looks like the West
Trojans are celebrating. If so, Jay, that's a first down. Yep, personal foul against Clayton after the play. And, Jay, that's going to move the ball to the 31-yard line where it'll be a 1st and 10 for the host Trojans.
Yeah, huge mistake against Clayton, and a great opportunity for West Brunswick to take advantage of it here with great field position at the 31-yard line.
So 1st and 10 at the 31. 6 minutes and about 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Nowhere.
Tough.
Maybe what, Jay, a yard on the carry? 2 yards to the 29. Sets up about a 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Sam, it's getting a little chippy out there, I think. That time it looked like somebody shoved Johnny Magby back, you know, after making the tackle. So
important to control your emotions, partner. We saw West Brunswick lose control a couple times last week and get whistled for some dead ball penalties.
That's going to go against Trojans, I think.
Flag on the field. Motion against the Trojans.
So a false start penalty against West Brunswick is going to turn a 2nd and 8 into a 2nd and 13 with exactly 6 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Hoggard's on the road tonight.
At Rollsville.
And in 17-16. But with Hoggard ahead or behind? Okay. Gotta move. Tough.
Boy. Campbell just kind of dodging, running for his life in the West Brunswick backfield, was at least able to get the ball back to about the 33-yard line. But the Trojans need the 21 for a first down, so it's going to be 3rd and 12.
Eli Price, cornerback, on the stop that time. Sam, we're still probably, although Murphy has a pretty strong leg, got to get a lot closer, I think, to at least take a shot at it, don't you?
Yeah, it'd be a 50-yarder from here.
That's a pretty good poke. Get it.
He's got it. Oh, he had it. What a catch.
Did he catch it?
What a grab by Locke Murphy.
He
made
it.
the catch. Senior receiver Locke Murphy with the catch of his career. And it's enough for a West Brunswick first down. Trojans 1st and 10, ball at the 19-yard line, 18-yard line.
Lock-a-doodle, man. He picked that one up off the ground. Wow, what a great catch by Murphy.
What a grab by the senior. Remember, he never even played football until this year.
That's right. He just kicked, you know, and wow, what a great effort by Murphy, and a darn Monzel being a little.
Play clock running down. Campbell's on his feet. Oh, man. Oh, horse collar.
Rambo.
Horse collar penalty. The head referee there saw it. I wasn't sure if he grabbed it or not, but I believe that's what they called it. It was personal foul, horse collar tackle. Jay, the ball is at about the 18. I believe that's going to make it a 1st and goal. No, probably a 1st and 1 at about the 9. Maybe, because I think West needed almost the 8 for a first down.
Boy, some penalties have hurt Clayton on this drive.
Yes,
you know?
they sure have. A late hit, personal foul, a horse collar tackle. Nope, it is 1st and goal, Jay. Ball looks like it's just inside the 10-yard line. Let's see what the Trojans do here on 1st and goal from the 9.
Well, both touchdowns tonight have come on short passes from around this spot on the field. Oh, great penetration that time. Holy cow. Look, 54, 56, 79. I mean, good night, nurse.
Take your pick, right?
Yeah.
Campbell stopped there for a loss of a yard. And now, Jay, revert back to the conversation about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They're definitely in Lock Murphy's field goal range.
Yeah.
Just something to remember if you're the Trojans.
Well, absolutely. And West's gonna call timeout and think about it. An excellent call, I think, by the staff.
Yeah, Jay, obviously West Brunswick in this area of the field has found a way to score twice. Just important to remember, neither time did they line up and just mash Clayton, on the way to the end zone. That's not going to happen.
No, I don't think you're going to play smash mouth football with Clayton. So you've got to use what, listen, you dance with who you bring to the dance. And for West Brunswick, that's their speed, right? And so, but tonight, the threat of the speed maybe. Certainly Clayton's come in here very well prepared to keep Campbell contained. And so what Monzel's been able to do, and he's kind of picked and chose, but, a couple of very timely throws, and then the real good throws 2 times into the end zone for the 2 touchdowns. So let's see what West is going to do here. But back to your point, Sam, they are definitely in field goal position on the field. Is that number 44 in the backfield?
Yep, that's Carter Wyatt in the backfield with them.
That means Monzel's going to run.
Campbell around the right side. He's down for the byline. Oh, out of bounds at the 1. He's marked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The pylon went flying down to the turf. Campbell marked out of bounds, and you can't get any closer than that without scoring as the senior quarterback, just a yard short of the end zone. But, Jay, remember, that was just 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, and I got my eye on 44, Carter Wyatt, and there were a couple of attempts to look like get him out of the game, and he keeps waving back, no, let me stay. So if Wyatt's in there, he's in there to block, right?
Boy, Jay, Wyatt Magby in the backfield.
Yeah,
Smith and Wyatt in there as an extra blocker. They snap it to Magby. He's short.
Oh, no. Well, did they blow it?
No, they blew it dead.
Okay. Kind of a little trick play that time, and
I think the Trojans are going to kick it.
I think so too. Okay, Sam. West has an excellent snapper, right?
Yep, Weston Sharp. Remember, the last kick the Trojans attempted, though, was blocked.
It was.
So we'll see if West Brunswick can block the right guys this time. 2:45 left in the 3rd quarter. A made field goal would put the Trojans ahead by 2. It's about a 19-yarder. And it was good, but the play was blown dead. Murphy split the uprights, but it was blown dead. Now it's
Clayton.
on them, Jay.
Offsides Clayton.
So now with a 4th and goal from the 1, do you go for it or do you kick it?
I take the 3.
Here's the bad part, Jay.
Yeah.
On that kick, it was a perfect hole, perfect snap, perfect hole, perfect kick. I mean, Murphy split the uprights.
yeah.
Now you got to go do it again.
So you got to make it. They have to take the penalty, right? All right. So Gore is the holder. 55, Sharp the snapper, and Locke Murphy with the kick. He got it.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. A big-time kick by number 5, Locke Murphy, and the Trojans have taken a 2-point lead, 16-14, 2:37 left in the third. Jay, how about that drive by the senior Locke Murphy? The catch of the year to keep the drive alive, and then he knocks in an 18-yard field goal with 2:37 left in the third to give the Trojans the lead.
Yeah, that was the Locke Murphy show that time, and what a brilliant catch for sure. And then very calmly boots it through not once but twice.
Twice, that's right. Great call, Jay.
So despite getting blocked earlier on, whatever happened on the blocked kick, seems like the West staff got it fixed, right? Because both of those snaps were true, and both of those kicks were right through the middle. And 16-14 Trojans with 2:37 to go here in the third quarter.
Jay, do you like the decision to kick the field goal there and get the points?
I do, Sam, because, man.
Against this defense, I do. I do. It doesn't matter that you're at the 1 because their defensive front is just so impressive and imposing. I think your best bet's taking your points and going and playing some defense with the lead.
And West has more than held their own tonight defensively. I mean, remember the one touchdown on a short field.
Well, Jay, the other touchdown started at the 32 on a short punt.
Two short fields, yeah. So
the 32 and the 24.
Yeah, so the Trojans D has been pretty strong here this evening. Let's see if they can. Murphy would be advantageous for West to boot that thing through the end zone again like he did before.
Make Clayton start on the 20 again. We'll see what Murphy does. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That one's way into the end zone. That one almost flew. That was about 7 to 8 yards deep. Murphy pumped up after a big drive, a big catch, a big field goal, and then he booms one through the end zone for a touchback. And it's going to be Clayton football, 1st and 10 at its own 20. Again,
I was watching Locke come off the field.
Jumping,
ain't
celebrating.
Nobody happier. And Sam, remember the days when he was playing soccer and his mom or somebody would bring him from the soccer game to the football game. He'd change in the car.
Yep, there's Hinton. Boy, he ran into a wall. 14, Patrick Vereen in on the tackle. No gain on the play. Hinton marked down right at the 20-yard line. That's going to set up a 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2:15 left in the third quarter.
Hinton's like a highlight film every time he touches the ball. You got to be so concerned with him. And I think, again, for the most part tonight, the Trojans have done that. They've done a pretty good job of containing him, but he's tough.
Here he goes again. Oh, they got blockers.
Oh, they got a big boy in front.
Oh, pretty good job stopping him short there, Jay. He's dropped at a good gain of 6 yards, but he wasn't able to get enough for a first down. That's going to set up a 3rd and about 4 from the 26-yard line, and somebody on the Clayton Comets lost a helmet there.
That somebody was 77, Coy Turnage, a big tackle. Downfield leading the way. And his
how
helmet,
big is Turnage?
Well,
about 280?
280. They're all 280, right? So good effort that time by West to hold the dangerous Deshaun Hinton. They got to do it again, Sam.
Yep. They're wanting to reset the play clock, but West doesn't have anybody covering a receiver out here on the bottom, partner.
They better cover him
He
now.
dropped it.
Whoa.
He dropped it. Oh, what a break the Trojans just got there, as there was a receiver uncovered, and instead of a catch and enough for the first down yardage, it's incomplete and may bring on the Trojan punt team again. I'm assuming Coach Hickman yelling at his team, whatever you do, do not jump offside.
Yeah, don't jump off sides and don't be taking too many chances, if that ball's kicked to you. I think it was Johnny Magby that time that was
Who
making
ran over
up a
as
lot.
the safety. It wasn't even his guy, Jay. He's the safety.
But he had the wherewithal to cover, and big play.
Yep.
Yeah,
Get away from it.
Stay away.
Takes
stay
a
away.
Clayton bounce,
That's
but
all
not
right.
a great one. Why does
Pretty good Clayton roll.
Jay? I just can't understand. I'm not I could care less if you don't want to catch it as much trouble as West has had in the last couple of seasons with muff punts. Just get away from it.
Yeah.
Run to the other side of the field.
Yeah, don't.
It's something I'll never quite understand.
Don't take the chance for that, because the ball, it's a football, man, and
It's
that thing
oblong.
It takes
Yeah.
crazy hops, right?
Yep.
So anyway,
1st and 10 at the West 29. Trojans lead 16-14. 56 ticks left. Oh, it's a fumble.
No. Is there a flag? Wow, there is a flag.
Yeah, but it's after the
After
turnover.
the turnover. Oh, my gosh. West going for
A reverse.
a reverse, and that's going to go
It's a
against
horse
West.
collar against West Brunswick, and Clayton's going to be about a yard away from the end zone.
Boy, you talk about an emotional roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Trojans take the lead, good defensive stand, get the ball back in pretty good field position.
And on 1st and 10.
Yeah, and they just make a mistake. So got to come right back here now. You got to put that one behind you and make a play.
47 seconds left in the
Quarterback coming in finally.
third quarter. And Clayton's going to have to burn a timeout. It's second of the second half.
And that's Cade Sikowski, the other quarterback, was coming on the field for that play. So,
Boy, Jay, my, oh my, all the momentum, 16 unanswered points. You just forced a punt for the second consecutive possession. And 1st and 10 from the 29, you try some trickeration, maybe catch Clayton napping, and who knows, maybe if it's there, J.J. Cobb takes it and scores. Instead, it's a fumble. Clayton picks it up, and they're 2 yards away from taking the lead. Oy vey.
yep. But again, you just got to put it behind you now, Sam. You can't worry about it. You got to just be ready for the next play. And
A lot of football left either way.
Yeah,
even if West has scored on that play, there's a lot of game left.
Sure. You still got the entire fourth quarter and a few seconds here in the third. Touchdown.
Quarterback is across the goal line for a Clayton touchdown. A huge turnover late in the third quarter has completely flipped the momentum of this game. And Clayton has taken a 20-16 lead with 42 seconds left here in the third quarter.
I think that was
One.
Sadowski.
Oh, I thought you meant on the fumble recovery. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the quarterback who ran that one in was Sadowski. I think they were changing quarterbacks. 14 Wyatt Williams on for the extra point. There you go. Well, yeah, there you go.
And Jay, I gotta tell you, I'm really surprised Clayton attempted that extra point, as there's no real difference in being up 4 or 5 points. I thought they'd try to go for 2 there and take a 6-point lead, but still the third quarter, and Coach Handy certainly can coach football a lot better than your ATMC TV play-by-play guy. So 20-16, Clayton leads 20-16 with 42 and a half seconds left in the third quarter.
Now, you say, oh, gosh, 42 and a half seconds, what can happen? Well, with 10.4 seconds,
Yep.
In the first half, we saw what almost happened, right? Which was a 50-yard touchdown run or whatever the heck it was that Hinton was going to get, but he stepped out of bounds, and so West is going to, get the ball back here with, again, oodles of time. They've climbed out of the hole. They were down, what, 14?
14-0.
14-0, right, to make a game of this. So don't give up on the Trojans quite yet. A lot of ball yet to be played. And, hey, the last time Clayton kicked off, Patrick Vereen almost went to house.
Yep, very good point. And a lot of football left. 42 seconds left in the third, and then, of course, a 12-minute fourth quarter as Clayton has seized a 4-point advantage here. Now they're going to kick it short. Trip Hardy on the return. He just lowers his head.
Yeah.
And down at about the 36 or 37-yard line. A good job securing the catch there. And West has pretty decent starting field position, about 4 yards shy of their own 40. In the other regional semifinal in the East, Lee County has a 10-7 lead over Cleveland.
Wow.
So 2 good games in the East Regional semifinals.
Absolutely, and 4 real good football teams, and nothing.
Not a whole lot of room to run the ball for the Trojans all night, Jay Combs, and that might have been the final play of the third quarter. West can let the clock run down to the end of the third if it so chooses.
Sam, that was 56. Cade Cyrus, a junior, 6'2", 240, was in the backfield almost about the time that the ball got there. Wow.
All right,
minutes.
Jay, the stage is set. West Brunswick trails Clayton 20-16 with 12 minutes of game action left. If you are in your easy chair and it has a seatbelt, now would be the time to put it on, folks. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun final 12 minutes. Clayton 20, West Brunswick 16. Second round of the playoffs right here on ATMC TV. And we're set for the start of the fourth and final quarter here on ATMC TV. Second round of the state playoffs. Clayton 20, West Brunswick 16. Trojans face a 2nd and 9. Ball is at the 37-yard line.
Just can't turn the corner, Sam. There's just...
And, Jay, that was probably one of the better runs.
Yeah.
He got it to the 41 for a gain of about 4, but the Trojans still going to be about 6 yards shy of the line to gain here.
Boy, they're just so difficult to run the ball against, either, in the interior of that box or getting around the outside. Looks like Campbell limping a little bit, number 2.
Yep, he's taking some licks tonight, Jay Bird.
Tough kid, though. He is a tough kid. Stronger than he looks.
Play clock getting all the way down to 5. West just getting the play in. It wasn't there, Jay.
He's trying. Good.
Monzel Campbell throws it away. Intentional grounding.
Nobody there.
Nope. West trying to get the bubble screen set up, but no one was there. And, Jay, you know, truthfully, it wasn't the worst of results there, as he lost probably about 4 yards, and it was going to be 4th down anyway on the incomplete pass. So you certainly hate to lose the yards.
But you don't want to lose the ball, right?
It was more significant than I thought.
Yeah.
I lost about 10 yards.
Yeah, but you don't want to lose the ball, Sam. So Murphy will probably be on to punt. And, you know.
Yeah, a lot of confusion here, Jay. West Brunswick didn't have the right personnel on the field.
They didn't.
Now they're running on the punt team.
Murphy's played a big role here this evening in this game. And right now, his right foot has got to kick West out of trouble.
Oh, gee whiz. Clayton had somebody with a paw on
bounce.
there. It's on the ground. Ball is on the ground, and West number 4 for Clayton there. Tyson Riggins did a great job diving back on it. It was number 13, Avery Clemens, who had a real slim chance to kind of, you know, dive on it on an all-out sprint. Couldn't quite corral it, but what an effort by the sophomore receiver to get down there and nearly recover potentially a game-changing fumble for West. Nevertheless, Clayton football 1st and 10 at its own 37 with 10:56 left to go in the game.
And West, of course, has to be concerned with the dangerous Deshaun Hinton. At the same time, boy, sure would be nice to get a turnover.
There's Hinton.
Oh,
He's
oh,
free.
he is so good. He is so good, Sam.
Finally dragged out of bounds inside the West. He's at the 39-yard line, marked down at the 39-yard line, a gain of 24 yards. Johnny Magby there on the tackle for West Brunswick.
Yeah, I don't know how many yards Hinton has this evening.
Around 120 maybe?
I would think. He's 1,023 yards.
He's at about 1150 now,
Yeah,
I'd imagine.
You know, he's so dangerous.
And, Jay, those big guys up front, they wear on you after 3 quarters.
I would think so. I would think so.
There's Hinton again.
I mean,
West does a better job bottling him up this time. Trojans going for the ball.
Yep.
They aren't able to wrestle it away from him. Hinton dropped for a loss of about 2 yards. That'll set up a 2nd and 8. 10.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah, Hyson Hussein that time in there trying to rip that ball loose, and Hinton had a pretty good grip on it. Fayetteville State, right, next year
Fayetteville
for him?
State,
Yeah, they're getting a good one.
He's the best tailback the Trojans have faced this season. Quarterback draw. Quarterback slides down at about the 34-yard line. So a gain of what, Jay? About 2 yards is going to set up a 3rd and 6. Clayton needs the 28-yard line of West Brunswick for a 1st down. Huge play coming up. The Comets have a 3rd and 6 from the 34-yard line. 9:40 left in the game. Trojans down by 4.
And this is their quarterback, Cade Sikowski, a 5'11 senior. He's rushed for about 100 yards this year and 3 scores.
Hinton. He's short.
Oh, it's just nice.
A good run by Deshaun Hinton.
Just nice.
But he is marked short. Let's see, Jay. He got about the 32-yard line, so it's going to be a 4th and 4
Wow.
for the Comets with 9:05 left in the game.
Can you make a play?
Boy, this has been a tough, hard-fought,
Sure has.
physical football game.
Sure has. I'll tell you what, Trip Hardy again involved on that play. This kid, kind of an unsung hero in that linebacker core. He is a tough cookie.
4th and 4, for balls at the 32-yard line. There's the snap. It's big!
Oh!
Patrick Vereen narrowly stepped. Oh, no, we're going to fight.
Well, which way is it going to go?
It's against West.
Yeah, but man,
After the possession change.
Sam.
Oh, Jay, it was an all-out shove.
But both of them were.
Oh, yeah. The Clayton receiver, after Vereen had batted down the pass, went and threw him. Vereen retaliated, And now, instead of starting the drive at the 32, the Trojans will have the ball at about the 17.
Well, let's hope they have the ball, Sam.
Well, it's dead ball after the play.
Okay.
The result of the play stands, change possessions, then mark off 15. Yep. First down, Trojans.
But they're not gonna call a penalty on Clayton.
Nope.
Okay.
I saw that whole thing transpire. Vereen stepped in front of the bubble screen, batted it down. It was an incomplete pass. The Clayton intended receiver was blocking or trying to hit Vereen well after the ball had hit the turf. Vereen retaliated by shoving Boyd, and the referee saw the last shove penalty against Vereen.
I believe the Academy Awards are this Sunday night.
Yep.
And I think Everett Boyd, if he weren't nominated, he maybe ought to be nominated, because holy moly, he was rolling all over the place that time. Good enough that he, picked up the penalty against the Trojans. So, sugar, it would have been a lot better starting out there past the 30 than inside their 20. 8:39 to go, and you got to get a touchdown, Sam. 3 won't do it.
West Brunswick take over on offense. The flag was against West Brunswick.
So, Jay, now would be a good time for a long Monzel Campbell touchdown run
or
pass.
Yeah, and he's quite capable of both. And listen, the other team gives scholarships too, right? The great Lou Holtz line, and there's lots of dudes on that Clayton team.
You got to get rid of it.
He's in trouble. Yeah, you can't
got
hold
to
on.
get rid of it.
That's number 5 or 6. That's either Bryant or Cox. I think it was Bryant.
Yep, Jay, that's one you got to throw to the West Brunswick sideline.
You do. Easier said than done.
But Jay, he barely had time to survey the field.
Wow.
I mean, there's guys on him, like that. And Jay, not only is it a sack and a loss, it's a loss of about 10 all the way back to the 7-yard line. It's going to be about a 2nd and 19 or 20.
Yeah, the Comets, they're coming. Make up space so quick.
So the pass is completed, but not much yardage there by number 13, Avery Clemens. He's had a nice game tonight, partner. Touchdown catch on the slant.
Sam, I was thinking about Clemens today when I was putting numbers together, and he only has 8 catches coming into tonight's game. And honest to Pete, I think he had 4 of them the first game.
Yep.
And sort of got disappeared. I mean, now, the good news for West, Cobb picked up 28 catches on the season before tonight, but Clemens quite capable.
Again, pressure.
Pressure. That's
offensive PI against Murphy. Boy,
could have been.
He probably saved an interception. He two-handed shoved the DB in the back as that ball was in the air.
They did. Did they call it?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
But
So a good play there by Locke.
Man, Murphy's had a great game tonight in
He
more
has.
ways than one. And once again, he's going to have to step in here and try to kick West out of trouble. Plenty of time, Sam. 7-12.
Now we're back to where we were late in the first half, where the Trojans got backed way up and would punt it away into a little breeze now, and just trying to hang on for dear life here. Oh, pretty good kick.
We got a flag on the field.
Dangerous.
Flag on the field.
Oh, flag all the way back at about the 7-yard line.
And
so now West has to punt it again.
Wow.
Or add 5 yards to where the ball was caught, which is the 48-yard line of the Trojans.
gutsy fair catch that time by Tyson Riggins. He made a great play. Didn't want that ball to hit the ground and bounce forward, but maybe a moot point with the penalty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll play some music while the referees figure this one out. Adult skate is what I say.
Boy, Jay, don't you know the Trojans would like to have that 1st and 10 snap back from the 30-yard line a few minutes back
Oh, golly day, yeah, for sure.
on the fumbled reverse.
And they'd probably like to have that that
Excuse me, partner.
penalty against, the unsportsmanlike penalty too. Really hurt them on that down. They
Instead of starting at their own 32,
Yeah.
they started way back at the 16, and then a sack on first down kind of killed that drive before it began.
Once again, Westcott just put that behind them now, and the defense, who have played pretty darn well here this evening, got to do it again.
Clayton had a receiver who was lined up about 6 yards in front of the ball there.
And
He was trying to notify the referees that there was still a flag on the field from the previous play. He's a good Samaritan.
Who is that, number 13? Man? Is that Boyd? Might be Everett Boyd. Yeah.
Do it all, man.
Yeah.
Do it all, Everett Boyd. Jay, Clayton's got a 1st and 10. Ball is at the 43-yard line. 7 minutes, 5 seconds left in the game. Winner of this game advances to the 3AA East Regional Finals next Friday night.
And get them to put it up in the air and intercept it. They're not going.
Quarterback kept it, and he's got room.
He does. That's Noah Anderson with an excellent play that time and a big first down for the Comets.
Jay, that's what's so difficult, against a team like this. You almost have to sell out to stop hitting.
Sure.
And if you all converge on the ball, there goes Anderson for, about 12 yards and a first down.
You pick your poison, right? And obviously you have to overplay a kid like Hinton. Good pop.
Michael Smith with a nice tackle there. I think Luke King.
Yeah, he was
in. That's 71.
He was in on it.
Yeah. So, Jay, game clock becoming a factor now. We're approaching the 6.5-minute mark. If Clayton adds a field goal, it'll be a 7-point game. A Clayton touchdown on this possession would make it really, really tough for the Trojans to escape this one with a win.
Yep, that'd be a 2-possession lead.
2nd and 8, ball marked at the 25-yard line. Quarterback keeper. Carter Wyatt made a great tackle, brought him down at the – and another flag.
Okay, what we got? I told you it's –
I didn't see that one.
Sam, it's been chippy this second half for sure. Which way
I think it's on West Brunswick, partner.
Oh, boy. That's terrible.
Completely lost composure. 2 weeks in a row, Jay.
You can't get away with that against
a team that's manhandled you physically.
Well, good teams, and I mean, I start to say Clayton a great team, and I don't know, maybe they are, but certainly.
Jay, that is 100% inexcusable.
Yeah.
Period. You're holding on for dear life. You forced them into a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5 situation, and because you can't control your emotions, you're giving them a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. And it's a touchdown, almost. Hinton dropped at about the 3-yard line, maybe the 4. 5.5 minutes left. Clayton 4 yards away from really getting a stranglehold on this game.
Yeah, I don't know who tackled Hinton that time. I think he fell down.
The pile?
And a timeout. Who called the timeout? West, I guess. Yeah. And that's a good timeout, Sam, I think, because the Trojans are a little shaky right now. It's so hard. I mean, look, you can see their emotions.
Jay, they've been told that 3 years. Control your emotions. When things aren't going well, hang in there, keep your mouth shut, and play. And Jay, between the Chapel Hill game and tonight, West has got about 6 unsportsmanlike / late hit personal foul penalties in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
And Jay, quite frankly, you can get away with it against South Brunswick, not against Clayton.
No, you can't. That's the point I was trying to make earlier. Some teams you can not play your best and still come out on top. But But and listen, you know, some people thought West was going to have to play a perfect game here tonight to stay in it. They have played far from a perfect game. They're only down 4 with 5:15 to go, but the mistakes this evening have hurt the Trojans for sure.
Yep, Jay, and now 2nd and goal from the 4. 5:15 left in the game.
Yeah, he ain't getting away from
Hens
Carter.
not getting away from number 44, Carter Wyatt.
Yep. Folks, that's a one fine high school football player, number 44.
One of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, and got another year in high school, right? So you're watching a heck of a high school football player.
4:45 left in the game, Jay. It's a 3rd and goal from the 5. Remember, a
Field
goal would keep it a 7-point game.
You're not kidding.
A touchdown here would put the Comets 2 scores ahead with 4 minutes and some change left.
Who's going to make the big play? Clayton.
Clayton with a 5-yard touchdown run, a jet sweep on 3rd and goal from the 5, and with 4:25 left in the game, the Comets have a 26-16 lead.
I think that was Jaden Farrington taking that one into the end zone from 5 yards out, and Wyatt Williams, on for the extra point.
Williams' kick is up. He splits the uprights, and the Clayton Comets have a 27-16 lead.
Makes the score. Clayton 27, New West Brunswick Trojans 16.
Looked like they had a shot that time, Sam.
They had a guy initially there in the backfield, just couldn't bring him down, and
Yeah.
the next thing you know, he was running to the corner clear.
These guys, again, they're big, but they're very athletic, and they've got some quicks too, and they got a premier running back in Deshaun Hinton. But West, tall order now for the Trojans. They need one of those Patrick Vereen kickoff returns, right? Could make a lot of difference if they can score on special teams here. And let's see what they can come up with. And they do have, as opposed to years past, Sam, you've been watching these guys forever and a day. It's your life. It's your family, right? So, but they do have big play capability this year. We have not seen it this evening. And I think that's more credit of the fine defense that Clayton has played.
There was about a 10-minute stretch from the end of the 2nd quarter into the 3rd where West Brunswick really controlled the game, Jay. And
Other than
that was about it.
Yeah. Short kick.
Carter Wyatt dropped right at the 29 or 30-yard line. And West Brunswick will take over with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game from their own 30-yard line. And Jay, if West Brunswick's going to advance to the Eastern Finals, they better have some magic quick.
And a smart play by Coach Shane Handy and his squad that time, that, not going ahead and just kicking it long, keeping it short, and
making a non-skill position player, return it. Of course, That's not a knock on Carter Wyatt. He's a monster.
Yeah.
It's probably not a kick returner.
That's right. So let's see what Mr. Monzel Campbell can come up with here.
Oh, he hung it up, Jay.
That's a flag.
Yep, pass interference.
That's a flag.
And yet again.
I saw it.
Yet again.
Just
take the penalty and go back to the huddle.
We see it. We all see it, right?
I mean, good grief, Jay. Sorry, partner.
So the Trojans pick up some valuable yardage on the pass interference call against Clayton.
15-yard penalty maybe, out to the 45.
Maybe come right back, do it again, right? Got a little time.
Got a man down the field.
Yeah, out of bounds. So.
Kind of led the receiver, Avery Clements, out of bounds on the far right sideline. Sets up a 2nd and 10 from the West 45. 4:06 left in the game. Trojans down by 11.
You know, I guess if you're preparing to play against West, you look and see what they have. And, you know, they have speed. And the two speedy guys are Campbell and Cobb, neither of which have really been able to utilize their speed here this evening. So Clayton's come in well prepared, I think, for this West Brunswick attack, and yet Trojans still hanging around. Pressure. There you go.
Horse collar.
Did they call it?
Nope, no flag. Oh, and Jay, there's a flag on the play, so I think it might come back anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Oh, heavens.
One of those nights, Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, every time they got their footing, you know, I mean, right tonight when West Brunswick, I don't want to say it taking control of the game. That would be an overstatement. But up 16-14, force a quick stop, get the ball back, try a reverse fumble. Clayton recovers it on the 2, or recovers it, returns it to the 2. You know, takes the lead with a touchdown, and since then, nothing as the Trojans have not done much of anything correctly.
Uh-oh.
Pick. Yep. And, Jay, if it wasn't over before that play, it might be now, as number 5, Amari Bryant, whose name we have called all night, picks off a pass. Campbell was hit. As he threw the ball, it fluttered into the air, and the Comets have regained possession with 3:39 left in the game, and that just might do it for the Trojan faithful.
Yeah, Monzel under pressure that time, and I believe as he was delivering that ball, he did get hit, and as you described, Sam, it just kind of fluttered up into the air and came down into the strong hands of Amari Bryant. So Clayton can, a first down here, they could probably put this one away.
Hinton fighting for some yardage. West Brunswick's going to go into its timeout calling here. And, Jay, the referees also have to get control of this one. It's getting a little – it's been chippy for 2.5 quarters, and it's coming to a head here when it looks like the result has, been determined.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. And is there a flag out there?
Yeah, on the 38-yard line.
Something against –
illegal shift against Clayton.
Okay. You know, this kid Hinton, who's had another strong game here tonight, a couple of touchdowns and over 100 yards rushing, but no fumbles all season long.
All year.
You know, that's just remarkable, right? It's so easy to
ball
not hang on.
Ball security.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jay, you know, you can teach that, but fumbles can be fluky things.
They can.
As a ball carrier, you can do everything right
and still
lose
wrong.
the ball. So to not have one all year in 8, now 9 football games, how impressive is that?
Well, my next country song, I did everything right, and it still came out wrong.
Boy, True Robinson has played quite a game. Boy, his showing in the playoffs have been just quite remarkable. He played incredibly well against Chapel Hill last week and has had another dynamite showing here tonight.
I don't know what's on the horizon for True in terms of playing ball, but it seems like to me there'd be a place for him somewhere.
Yeah, and Jay, I saw the coaches on social media kind of advocating for college coaches to take a look at him.
Yeah.
Good grades. A pretty smart kid.
I got a great name.
A great name. Oh.
And just made a great
And he
tackle.
was right there.
Yeah, there you go.
To bring down Hinton, forcing about a 3rd and 16 here with 2.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Oh, no, and Robinson, little slow getting up, Sam.
Corbin Skipper I thought was coming into the game for the Trojans, but Robinson's going to stay out there.
True says, man, I don't get to do this much more for West Brunswick the way things are. So
yeah.
I'm
Jay,
staying.
Before this third down play, I'll ask. You can take it after the play. I don't think anyone expected West Brunswick to be in the regional semifinals after graduating, 24 seniors off a team that went 10-2. Caught it. Oh, Carter Wyatt got in one last big lick.
Big time hit.
Before the season comes to an end. But a 3rd and 15 conversion. And Jay, West Brunswick without its timeouts. We're going to start wrapping this one up now, partner. But expectations. No one, including Coach Hickman. Coach Hickman was on the record saying it would be a transition year for the program. Now, could he have foreseen Monzel Campbell transferring to the school? No. But haven't the Trojans exceeded expectations this season?
I'm pretty sure, and most people's looking at it would agree with you, Sam. And certainly having Campbell show up on your doorstep like Monzel did was a difference maker. Remember, back at the beginning of the season, Campbell wasn't even the starting quarterback, right?
Patrick Vereen.
Yeah, so, it took a little while to kind of get that sorted out, but once they did, West Brunswick played really good football, and just the last 3 games coming into tonight's game, just a tremendous finish, averaging almost 40 points a game, and they're going to fall a little short here this evening against a real quality football team in Clayton. But, yeah, I'd say that once again this COVID season, spring football, and look, they're still kind of pointing fingers at each other. And Clayton doing a good job of keeping
Jay, the game clock and play clock are the exact same, 30 and 30, 29-29, 28-28. Maybe Clayton has to snap it one more time with a second or two left. Otherwise, that will do it. And what a year for the West Brunswick Trojans. It is, and Jay, for a community, there's a certain sadness to see it come to an end. Jay, you should have seen the elementary schools and the Mother's Morning Out program at your church. All the kids wore green and had their pom-poms and painted their faces. And, it's just a shame to see it come to an end.
Yeah, it is. But, the good news is, Sam, usually we see you say, we'll see you next year, but we'll see you this year, right?
Oh, boy. So referees better get in there before that situation gets ugly there.
That's a lot of players all on one side of the field, and,
good to see 44 and 44 for each team kind of slapped hands. And
2 quality players.
Congratulated each other on a well-played game.
The point I was trying to make was that, generally we say see you next year. But this time we say we'll see you in a few months.
See you this fall, right?
See you this fall, which, makes it a whole lot better. But, look, congratulations to Clayton. They got a good team, and whoever they play next week, be it Cleveland or Lee, that's going to be a heck of a game. And certainly congratulations to West Brunswick for another fine season of football. And next season, which won't be that far away, will be a little bit different because of the realignments and the reclassifications here locally. So I think it's a very bright future for West Brunswick football, and they'll get over this one.
Yep. West Brunswick, North Brunswick, and South Brunswick will be the Mid-Eastern Conference's only 3A teams. When the fall season starts, New Hanover and Topsail both will move up to the 4A classification. Jay, how much fun would it be next Friday if Clayton gets its rematch with Cleveland? When the 2 teams met in the regular season, the game was decided by a touchdown.
Yeah, 34-27.
Don't you know the Comets would like another crack at Cleveland?
They'd like another look at them for sure, and depending on how that one sorts out tonight, they very well may get it. But congratulations to Clayton, and again, congratulations to West Brunswick for another fine season of high school football.
Jay, final takeaways, parting shots.
Well, nobody thought this would happen, Sam. I can remember folks saying when this season started, we're never going to get through it. It'll be impossible for, to 100 kids to stay COVID safe and everything. And doggone it, here in this area, in this conference, one school, unfortunately, New Hanover, had to stop midway through the season. But beyond that, the kids made it happen. The athletic directors made it happen.
Well, kudos
the
to them.
coaches made it happen.
Yeah.
So it's they said it couldn't be done, but doggone it, they did it, and they did it really well. And you're looking at West right now. There's more sad faces there than happy faces. But I believe in your brother. I believe in what he's trying to do here at West Brunswick. He's doing it the right way, and they're going to be back. And the good news is being back won't be that long.
So the Trojans, 17-4 in the last two seasons in 2019 and 2021. Second place finishes in the Mid-Eastern Conference in those years. Second to New Hanover in 19, second to Hoggard this year. Back-to-back trips to the second round of the state playoffs. First trip to the regional semifinals since 2003. And Jay, a break here or there tonight. And maybe they're playing for an East Regional Championship next week. But it will be the Clayton Comets advancing 27-16 winners over the West Brunswick Trojans. Another ATMC TV football season is in the books. Enjoyed it, Jay.
We did indeed. Now, I'm watching Brett talk to the team, and I'm reminded of when I heard him talk to the team with one of their pregame meals this year. And I was so impressed because he stood up in front of these kids, and he said, "I love you, and I don't tell you that enough." And isn't that what this is all about? I think, the relationship between a coach and young men that they're trying to develop. And I'm proud to just be on the periphery of it, just to do what little bit that I am able to do. I'm really happy and proud of it. And again, I'm happy for your brother and for, the community. And West Brunswick's going to be okay in football. They fell a little short tonight, but they'll be back in August.
Yeah, remember the Trojans in 2017 won 4 football games, finished in 6th place in the Mid-Eastern Conference. Fast forward 4 or 5 years and back-to-back trips to the second round of the playoffs and a trip to the regional semifinals in that mix. That will do it for our entire team at ATMC TV. For Nathan Evers and Aaron Varnum, the real heroes of our operation, he's Jay Combs. I'm Sam Hickman. Good night from M.H. Rourke Stadium in Charlotte. We will see you next time, whenever that may be, on ATMC TV. Good night, folks.